Hi, I'm Deanna Nowadnick. Welcome to the Purple Couch. This is a Fave Lifestyles web show where we get to talk about real stuff in real life as we walk together as women of faith, remembering that where 2 or 3 are gathered in His name, there has God promised to be also. This is the 5th of 5 shows in which we've talked about following God, and today I'm with Lynsie Hagen, a dear lady who is a busy mom, a busy wife, a busy daughter, a busy realtor.
A busy person.
A very busy person. And in the busyness of life, God has found some very special ways to lead her. So Lynsie, welcome to the Purple Couch.
Thank you. I was very honored that you even asked me, so thank
Well,
you.
we were laughing beforehand because today we are actually on a purple couch. We have been on stools. We have been on a brown couch. Today we're on a purple couch. Lynsie, I don't mean to overemphasize busyness, but as I think about our lives, we all have some busyness to them. And I love that we have this time together to talk about how in the midst of busyness, God continues to lead us and helps us to bless those around us in ways we could never have imagined. Tell us, what does your busyness look like on any given day?
Oh, goodness.
It's an oh goodness. So tell us about your busyness.
Well, let me start with my hair up in a crazy bun and getting out of bed. But first and foremost, I'm a mom. So I get our kids off, 2 boys off, ready for school. And then during my day, I am busy with real estate. And I'm also a daughter to my parents that live nearby. And I also help take care of them. And, in real estate, every single day is dramatically different, and it changes within, an hour or 2 of where I'm at or where I'm going. But that's what I like about it, is I can be in many different places all the time.
We are filming a Sunday show on a Thursday.
Yes.
Why are we filming a Sunday show on a Thursday?
Well,
what
first of all,
doing on Sunday?
Thank you for filming on a different day. My 2 boys race flat track, and so on Sunday we are doing a flat track race that they do at the fairgrounds, and so we are there, and as a mom, that's my priority. So not that you're secondary, but
Mom and Mason though are awesome. They are racers.
Yes, they are.
And I love the pictures that you post where we're coming home with trophies as large as they are. It's just
they need a whole nother shelf for their trophies, but I need to be there to cheer them on. And,
yes, you do.
And to make sure that no bones are broken.
And I love that because that is real life. Yes, this is a Sunday evening show, but we have moms who are doing what they need to be doing. That is real life. That is real life. So thank you for coming in on a Thursday. This is great. In your busyness, God has shown you ways, very special ways, to bless the Monroe community. One that you talk freely about, and one that I'm going to call you out on today just because it's such a beautiful example. So starting with a passion that you have shared, tell us about what you do with Take the Next Step.
We started, I think we are on our 3rd year of being a part of Take the Next Step, and Take the Next Step is a nonprofit group in Monroe, and they serve families and children and husbands and wives, and they do many dinners that even have doctors that come in and give them free checkups. And we are in such a world where it's hard to drive down the street and you don't notice homelessness.
Yes.
And I'm blessed that I do have a home, but there's also a part of me that wants to help others and want my family to be a part of it. And Take the Next Step has given us such an opportunity to do tangible things
Yes.
that gives us an ability to make a small difference.
And what tangible thing is it Mondays?
Every Friday.
Every Friday.
Yes,
okay.
and each month, and then we do other activities during the month. But we make 60 lunches, and our kids are a part of it. From going to get all the the lunch stuff, and we do brown paper bags, and we usually decorate them, or my kids write some sort of small note. My favorite is "You Matter" on them, and we make the sandwiches together and we pack them. And when we first did it, my kids were so shocked that they don't get to pick their lunch, or they don't get to have a choice in what sandwich they get. And it showed them that not everyone is as blessed as they are.
And how old are Miles and Mason?
6 and 9, and now they want to make lunches for everyone all the time. And they've even noticed that in their schools there are kids that don't have as many food choices in their lunches. And I'm actually hoping to start where the extras can go to an additional table at school, that the extras can go towards kids that don't have it, like a free choice table. And I'm not sure how that quite works yet, but
and Lynsie, what you have done with those young men, they have as big a smile on their face as they're standing by all the lunches they prepare, as they do when they're standing by a trophy. How you've inspired in them the get to opportunity here to bless. What a joy. What an, I can't even find the right word, obviously. But what an example that you have shown them, and how they have been able to see and appreciate a simple lunch, what they have, what others might not have, to be able to see that at school now. Again, what an example.
Well, I feel too that at 6 and 9, it's hard to feel like you can make a difference. And you can't change the whole world in a matter of minutes, but they do see that it helps one person, and they learn that it kind of roll over and helps another, and that it brings joy. And it started with our blessing bags that we did at church. And we had our bags that had hats and beanies and socks and food. And even when our blessing bags ran out, they were determined to go make their own and do them all year round. So actually in my car, we still have year-round bags that we can pass out and give, when we see them.
So thinking about things that you've passed out, last summer, I was riding home on my bicycle without my helmet on, as two young men called me out on, not realizing in that moment that a small bouquet of flowers had been left at my door. And I was so touched by just a small kindness. How did that get started?
That is actually kind of like a 2-part thing. I've been in real estate for 3 years, and it is such a joy to give the gift of being with someone in like their biggest investment and help them along the way and give them the keys. But at the same time, my mom got diagnosed with Alzheimer's, and that it rattled our family to the core. And at the time, I was very conscious of our time here. And I felt like in my job, I wasn't using God's gifts as to my full potential. So my dad, he has a huge dahlia garden. And the reason he has that many flowers is he wants my mom to be able to sit and look out her window and to see her garden. And he's got over 40 varieties of dahlias. And dahlias, the more you cut, the more they bloom. And to me, that just spoke volumes of the more you try to reach others and the more you try to impact, more kindness comes growing from that. And so when I see that my dad has this garden and these dahlias are just crazy because there's so many. We started with taking bouquets, and my kids, we would go and snip all their, dahlias and put them in a basket, and then we would get cups or mason jars, and we would just set them outside of people's homes, because I know as our family goes through this walk with this disease, you really at times you go through the busyness of your day, but inside you're really struggling.
Yeah.
And you're really hurting, and you can't go to the grocery store and say your whole life story. But I know that there's so many other people that are, going and navigating through their life with hard things. And I just truly want them to be seen and loved and know that they matter. And with my
seen and loved and
yes, and then it kind of snowballed into I can incorporate this into my job, and I can make a difference while doing my career and make it bigger on a bigger spectrum, and touch as many people as I could.
Yes.
And then it poured over into my kids wanting to give flowers to, when we pick up groceries, or we got a coffee and this lady you could tell was having a really hard day, and I had a big bouquet, and my son goes, "You need to give her a flower." And I gave her a flower, and she immediately started crying and said she had X, Y, and Z trouble for that day. And she said, this made my day better. And to see that it was from my kid that knew, even before I had, that she needed a flower, he knew that this is a tangible way to bless others. And that's what momhood, I think, is all about.
That's what momhood is all about, Lynsie. Again, these small moments, I think I said it just last week. It's not the viral moments, the moments that go viral that are so very important. It's those very small moments, those moments at the front door, those moments in the car, that just means so much, one by one.
Mm-hmm.
Remembering that, as you're sharing a sandwich, you're sharing hope.
Mm-hmm.
You're telling someone you matter.
Yes.
And I want you to be nourished in many ways.
And they're seen.
They're seen.
Yes.
They're seen. You share this small bouquet, and again, I see you. You are valued. And I just want to bring a little joy into your life, and the fact that it's not just you that's doing it, but you've got these two young men in the back seat that are going, "Hey, Mom."
Yes.
That's like awesome.
And help cutting the flowers and putting together, arrangements, and they just get a kick out of driving up and no notes, just leaving them on a doorstep.
As you think about where God has led you, what has given you the greatest joy?
I think to be a mom is my greatest joy, because at first when you become a mom and you do the mundane things, you think it's not good enough. You think that your job is to, serve a country and do bigger things. But when you realize that the things you do on a daily can impact them and show God's love through that, I think that gives me the greatest joy, because you tried your hardest and it's very tough, and I put everything I have into that.
It's very apparent. It's very apparent. Thank you for sharing your story today. Thank you for being a part of our conversation on the Purple Couch. I love being able to share stories, especially as we walk together in faith. God takes every single one of us on a very unique journey, but at the same time, when we have a chance to share our stories, as I see how God has moved and shaped your life, led and directed you. It allows me to better see how God might be trying to lead and direct me. If I would slow down and listen.
Yes.
That's probably another series.
Yes, it is. Mm-hmm.
And at the same time, I think about how as you do what God needs you to do, it allows us to show others a God who loves, a God who gives us joy and peace and patience and hope. As I like to say, those capitalized versions. So Lynsie, thank you.
Thank you
for being with us. We have a great time on the Purple Couch, and we'll be back.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.